Okay, it's late in the day here. I'm probably going to lose my light pretty soon. This is a video about my Bad Cat amp head that I used through an aux box. I used it for an overdub on a tune for a rhythm guitar part that I originally used, a virtual version of a Diesel VH4 amplifier. Wasn't too happy with the sound. I decided to try to reamp through my Bad Cat. I've had this Bad Cat for about 45 days. Well, actually, I've had it more like about 2.5 months. Can't return it now. And I don't even know if I'm really all that happy with this thing. I got to be honest with you. I've tried to use it on several different tunes, and I use it maybe 1 out of 3 times I try to use it.
You know, I will say I've had this Marshall head, and every time I record something with it, it sounds pretty much spot on the way I'm expecting it to sound. And so this Bad Cat, this is the reason I'm doing this video. I'm just not understanding why every time I plug in the Marshall, I go, oh yeah, that works. And every time I plug in the Bad Cat, I'm like going, is this working?
So it's kind of weird. I think I'm going to use it on what I'm doing here today. I'd love to have some comments back from anybody who listens to the difference between the Diesel and this Bad Cat Hot Cat amp. Let me know what you think. I still don't know if I'm going to use it, but I'll show you what I did, and maybe it'll be useful to you guys of making an opinion about what you think of this amp yourself. Okay, so here is the tune. It's just basically a drummer and I and a keyboard player. We laid down a rhythm track and got the drums where I like them, and I came home and I decided I was just going to start retracking all the parts because the drummer was better than me and the keyboard player. So at least we got a good drum track. And anyway, I've got a bass track here that's a DI directly off the bass, running it through this Ampeg virtual amplifier, you know, UAD. I've always liked those amps. They sound great. Then I have 2 guitar parts. This guitar part here, this says DI EGT PRS comp. What that is, this is the direct out of the PRS. And on this channel, as I was tracking, I had this right here, this Diesel VH4. So I had the same settings in my UAD software for the Diesel amp. I just copied them. I listened to this one while I tracked, and then I listened to this one when I played back. So kind of convoluted, but at least I don't have any latency doing it that way. That amplifier, when I wasn't too happy with the sound of it, I decided I was gonna try out the Bad Cat, and so what I did was I took this Diesel amp here and I went ahead and printed right here the output of that Diesel amp to a track so I could listen to it and A/B it against the Bad Cat once I got it set up. Now I took the direct of the guitar and routed it out of an output 3. Getting into the Bad Cat, here's how I did that. Came out of a line output, line 3 with this cable, went into my radial X-amp reamping box here, really nice box. It converts from line level to instrument level. Then went into the Bad Cat Hot Cat amp up here. It's turned off right now just because this is the next day, no big deal. Settings are the same though. Was using the second gain channel, and you know, everything basically around noon. Not a whole lot of drastic stuff going on there. And then out of the Bad Cat speaker output, 16 ohms into the aux box 16 ohm speaker in, then line out of the aux box back into right here my interface, line in on the interface. Came out of that amp and went into my aux box, came up with these settings. I got it through a 412 greenback cabinet and tweaked it until I got sounds that I liked. Put a little EQ on it. Didn't do a whole lot of work, but because the amp sounds pretty darn nice the way it is. Got a combination of the mics the way I liked them, and it came out of the aux. Listened to a return of the Bad Cat on my UAD software, and then decided ultimately to print the Bad Cat, which is right here from the DI going through that aux. So with no further ado, let's just, I'm going to show you the difference between these two rhythm guitar parts. This would be the Diesel, this track right here. The rhythm guitar that we're dealing with is on the left speaker. There's two guitars. The second guitar is on the right speaker. The Bad Cat and or the Diesel is on the left speaker. All right, so this is the Bad Cat. We'll start off with the Bad Cat. That's the Bad Cat. Let's listen to the Diesel. Okay, so that's the Diesel amplifier there. Let's go to, let me go to the chorus, and I'm going to play some of the chorus, and we'll switch back and forth between these two in the mix, and you can hear them change. So we'll start off with the Diesel in the chorus. Here we go. So let's go back and forth between those two guitars. Let me solo them for you, give you an idea what they sound like all by their lonesome. This is the Bad Cat. Here is the Diesel. I know there's a little delay on that on the Diesel, but I don't think that makes a big difference for as far as judging the tone of it there. So that's the difference between the two. You've heard it A-B'd in the song. You've heard them soloed and A-B'd. I'd love for anybody to get back with me and tell me what they think of the way the Bad Cat sounds and or the Diesel. As I said, I was going to lose the light. Anyway, so there you go. Let me know what you think of that. And if you like what you're seeing on the channel, please subscribe. There's all sorts of videos on the channel, performance stuff, tips and tricks, reviews of gear, all that kind of good stuff. I'm Rusty Smith for Record, Mix, Repeat. Please come back again.